Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Heal with Angelica Waters podcast. And here on my podcast, we discuss all things healing. And on today's episode, we will be speaking with my beautiful sister, Laright. I hope I said it right. Laright,
Yes.
yes, yes, she is an artist by nature and an arts advocate and with passion for growing organically and living a holistic lifestyle. She will be sharing with us her journey of healing and discussing her start of La's Healing Garden. How are you doing today, Miss La?
I'm doing so great. I'm doing great. The sun is not shining. It's some overcast over here today, but I created some sunshine within my
Yes,
space here. So it's all good. It's all good.
absolutely. Let's see here. Yes, so let me see here. La, can you hear me? All right, give me a moment. Gotta get her back on here. Add to the show.
I'm here.
All right, welcome back, sis.
Yes.
We're gonna get this together.
Yes. No problem. No
Yes,
problem at
Miss
all.
Lai. Yes, I just wanted to welcome you to my podcast, and I'm so glad to have you on my podcast today because I wanted to discuss your healing journey and also get into depth about your start of Lai's Healing Garden. Like, wow. So I wanted you to take the time to just tell everyone about yourself, who you are, what you do, so we can get a feel of who you are.
Okay. Awesome. I am so not used to talking about myself in the sense of the things that I've been going through. So this is going to be a transparency moment for me. Um, I'm in a state of growing and
Yes.
sowing. So this is good. And I'm so glad that you welcomed me here. My name is Lakeisha Wright. A lot of people don't know my name because I have been going by law for so many years here in the area.
Mhm.
But you can definitely call me Law. I am from a military family, so I have had an opportunity to travel all around the world. I also joined the military myself.
Oh,
So I'm an
wow.
Air Force veteran, and I did finance, accounting, and budgeting there. Also had an opportunity to learn things when it comes to training and how to really work with others. So I had a great growth spurt during my
Mhm.
time in the military, and I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed exiting out. And so when I exited out the military, I did move back to what I call Augusta, Georgia, which is home. I call home.
Mhm.
And met my husband shortly before I did move here permanently, and been just involved in the arts community. My husband, he owns and runs a promotion company, and we really do help when it comes to promoting and also booking other artists, providing stages, sounds, lighting, etc. We've been in the game for so long that we have multiple resources that we can draw from to help everyone be successful. So what else about me? That's me. I have no
Okay.
kids. I am the oldest of three children, and I have a small knit family that I do rely on for support.
Yes.
And I just been growing from there. Is the sound okay? I'm not sure if you're getting feedback.
I can hear you. It does sound a little muffled, but I
It
can hear
sounds
you.
like there's some static. So let's
Yes.
see if there's anybody on with us that could probably tell us this.
Let's see here. So I can hear you, just a little static.
Okay, so you hear a clicking sound. Is it
Yes.
possible that it's coming from my end, Travis?
Okay.
Because we want to make sure that everybody can hear us. We don't want it to be disturbing, but it does sound like it's clicking when I talk.
Yes, let's see here.
If it's overwhelming, just let us know. We'll try to make some adjustments. When you aren't talking, I can't hear the click.
Okay.
So it's happening when I do talk. How disturbing is it? I might need to come back in and start
Okay.
over.
Yeah. Come
Yeah.
back in. Yeah, come back in and we'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing but little technical issues. It's all good. Like it's like the caption. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Let's see. Oh, she's back. Let's see.
Okay. So what's going on? Maybe I'm hoping it does sound better. I do hear clicking and I do hear that you're staticky right now.
Okay. Can you let me see. Do you hear it now? Me. Let's see. Can you say something so I can hear?
Okay.
Oh,
So Travis is saying it seems like it's the captions.
okay.
Are we able to turn off any captions that's coming through? Closed caption?
You just started. You sounded kind of clear to me.
Okay.
It sound better.
It sounds better to us. Maybe. Keep
Yeah.
talking. Okay, we're going to keep talking and I'm going to try not to touch and move around too much. So maybe not hit the microphone or the desk as well.
Okay.
See how that works. Okay.
Okay, yeah, because
Cool.
you definitely sound way better than earlier. But
Good.
again, it's okay. It happens. We're gonna
It
keep going.
does. Good thing is that we're capturing the audio and hopefully the playback will be better for us, right? So where do I leave off? Where did I
Yeah,
leave off?
so let's go ahead and just get to just your healing journey. And what was your start of your healing journey that made you get into La's healing garden?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a great question. And I think it is a combination of different things. But then there was one incident that really kind of propelled me to for me to land where I'm at now. I've always been into gardening. My mom, she raised us with a garden. We were always growing something, no matter where we were located, whether it was in the ground, in a container. She was always about growing. What can we grow and keep alive? So I
Exactly.
learned a lot with her through those experiences, getting up early in the morning to harvest or to sow. And as I got older, right, joining the military, staying active, I knew how important it was for me to stay healthy and fit. So working out and being physically fit was important, but probably wasn't focused so much on the what I was consuming. And so as years went on, I started adjusting that because I wasn't feeling well. Then I married my husband, and 6 months after we got married, he had an aortic dissection. The aortic dissection, a lot of people, they're not familiar with that, but the aortic dissection, actually your aorta, which is the main artery that leads off to your heart and provides your limbs blood that it needs to work, is shredded inside of his body. And most people when that happens, they fall within minutes because you're bleeding out inside of your body cavity and your organs aren't getting the proper blood. Well, thank God, thank the Creator that he made it to the hospital, and not only made it to the hospital, but made it off of the operating table after multiple operations, actually. And he's still here. He was a true miracle. So we're so thankful for that, and we give thanks. So that propelled me to where I'm at now, because while we were in the hospital, you know, he was in ICU and he couldn't speak for himself. So I didn't understand what he was going through, or if he was hurt, or if something was going on, because he was in a medical coma for about 4 to 5 days.
Oh, wow.
And so I made sure that, okay, since he cannot advocate for himself, I knew right then it was important for me to be there to make sure that he was getting the care that he needed, that he was being turned, that he is, what meds, what fluids do we have going into his body. So at that moment in ICU, sitting in the corner, I immediately went into another mode where I had to say, okay, I want my husband to live.
Yes, exactly.
I want him to come home with me. What can I do in order to help with his recovery? Right? What if he doesn't wake up? What do I do? What do I do when he does wake up? What do I need to feed him? What do I need to what physical therapy we need to do? Because he had so much trauma to his body that he had to, you know, basically learn how to use his leg again.
Yeah.
So immediately I got in a different frame of mind. And so I didn't have time to be upset or to be scared. I just knew to work.
Ooh.
And I started doing a lot of research. And a lot of people are like, well, you know, you can't believe everything on the internet. YouTube University and the Google Doctor, the Google MD. That is me.
Yes, okay.
And I'm not ashamed of it. Right? There are plenty of resources that are online that can help us understand our bodies. Just like a doctor or medical physician can go online to learn, we have access to those same resources. Exactly. So I took advantage of it with what I already knew and added to that to make sure that, hey, we are doing the right thing moving forward. Because I quickly learned that the medical professions, when I did ask them questions, they were limited on what we could discuss because they're medical professionals.
Yes, right.
Right. So he stayed in the hospital for about a month or so, and then had to go back for another month, maybe a month or two later. So understanding patient advocacy was so obvious to me at that time. So that kind of just like made me take accountability and responsibility for his care and his recovery.
Oh, wow.
So we came home, and once we got started with recovery and he was doing better, I got back into the garden after not being in the garden for about a couple of years. And it was more for as a therapy for me. Right. Putting my hands in the soil, decompressing. Like if I was stressed, and I would get out there in the morning and I would work off that stress by sweating and just pouring into the soil. And it was giving back to me. So that was healing to me. And I think that's where the name came from, Law's Healing Garden. Before I even started my business, I started tagging anytime I shared any pictures from my garden or any videos that I were doing in my garden, I would tag Healing Garden. And then I started using Law's Healing Garden. So that pretty much started with me with growing and taking growing to another level, because now I'm not just growing to be growing, but I'm growing for our health. Exactly. What are some of the foods and herbs that we need? Am I able to grow in case I need to grow? right? So those all those things were coming into play around that time, and I believe he had his aortic dissection in April of 2013. So yeah, it's been a lot of growing since then.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, the business didn't come straight away. That came with time. People would come over to my space and they were enjoying themselves. They were getting comfortable. They were getting some therapy, either from the smells of the things that was in the garden, how the leaves would feel. Because I would take people over to a leaf and be like, hey, feel this. How does that feel to you? So all of those senses they're being aware of their senses by standing in my backyard looking at my garden. And so as time went on, I continued to grow and I had a desire to create products from my garden. And so that's where we're at now. And I see that you dropped off. So I'm not sure if you hit the video button or not, but I'm still here. Hey, if y'all are here and you're listening to this conversation, let me know. Go ahead and drop something in chat. I see that you're here, Trav. Are you able to share this or invite others? Because I don't have that option right now. The clicking has stopped. Okay. It might be her microphone that she's using to connect. So maybe I'll ask her to disconnect the microphone and use the phone microphone. I think that'll work. Yeah. So how do I look? Well, I'm glad that you are able to join us. I think that these conversations need to be had. You'll really be surprised at how much these conversations benefit not only the listener but also the person who is sharing. And so I'm glad to be on this side of things because I've had an opportunity to do my own podcast, which is Law's Healing Garden Podcast. And I have had that response where people come in to share their story, but then the feedback that we're getting is, I feel good. I'm glad that I'm sharing my story. It's a healing for them as well. So healing for the person that's giving and sharing their story because they're restating it. They're reminded of how I got through this. Like I'm stronger than I thought. Like I got through that. But then also the listener has an opportunity to see that others are going through maybe the same thing or something similar. They can relate to that person. And so that can help the listener. Oh, I see. She got through it. What are some of those things that got her through it? What does the other side of that look like? So that's why
All right. Let's see here. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's see here. Let's get this show back on the road.
Okay, so it looks like it came back on the same live.
Wow.
It's
Right.
still ticking at 23 minutes.
Wow. So definitely do apologize about that, you guys. Having some technical difficulties, but that won't stop us. So I hope you guys are still listening in. I think my girl held it down
Mhm.
while the screen went away. So I appreciate that, Miss La.
Yeah, no problem.
Hmm. And
Um,
you can hear me. Can you
I
hear me?
can clear.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
great, great, great. Might have been a microphone, but it's okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So let me see here. Did you want to
yeah.
just continue where we're at?
Yeah.
Okay.
So oh, we was just talking about a lot. So I wanted to just know, because I know you explained that um your the healing garden was just something that you was already putting into place without actually putting it into place. Like not knowing that this is what it was going to end up being as far as your garden.
No, I was basically doing it
Mm-hmm.
for therapy to see what I could grow.
Exactly.
Um, I want to be like my mom when it comes to growing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because she's a master at it. And so I was like, I'm gonna be like my mom.
Oh, exactly.
Right. So that was like the motivation at first. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew and understood that there's gonna come a time to where we're gonna have to rely on ourselves for our food sources.
Mm.
Rely on each other, out, other than people outside our community.
Exactly.
So that I knew that how important it was for me to understand, okay, if I can grow a leaf, I'm gonna be all right. So the whole business Lost Healing Garden as a business came about after some time. I was standing in my garden and I was talking to a friend of mine and I was letting her know, I said, it would be nice to have products that would come from my garden,
Mm.
right? I didn't have like an excess of food or anything once I harvest, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but what I had was quality, and it was something that I grew, either from seed or purchasing the seedlings, and I grew it, and I was so
Exactly.
proud of it. I was growing it as natural and as organic as I could, and knew
Exactly.
how, using companion planting and everything. So I was proud of the produce that came after sowing. So I was like,
Okay.
well, I could do this. I could, maybe sell some different blends. And at the
Yes.
time, me and
Mm-hmm.
my husband I was already making what I have is called Supreme Detox Tea,
Oh, wow.
right? And so it
Mm-hmm.
has chamomile, blessed thistle, holy thistle, marshmallow, malva leaves, persimmon leaves,
Oh,
and all
wow.
of these
Mm-hmm.
items help you with your digestive system,
Yes.
and it
Mm-hmm.
cleans your gut
Oh,
naturally.
that's great. We
Right.
all, it's a lot of people that need that. They do say that um most of people's sickness and illness starts with their gut.
Yes.
So once you're able to correct that, most of the time you're able to correct a lot of things. So I like
Exactly.
that.
Not
Yes.
only your health
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to your physical health, but
Mm-hmm.
also mental clarity.
Oh.
You know, we walk around and we're like, I feel it in my gut. I knew something was wrong. But if your gut is ill, you may not get the right message that you need. So that's why I think it's so important. And what started us on this detox journey, um, after my husband was through recovery, I was trying to get myself together.
Yeah.
And I put on some weight. I wasn't feeling well. Everything made me ill. Before, during, and after I ate, I always felt ill. And I said,
Okay.
I need to get rid of something. And I found a detox tea. I was with a company and I ended up being a distributor. And so we tried the tea and the tea worked wonders.
Oh my God.
Um, we felt great. And I was very consistent and really hard pressed on drinking this tea every day for a couple of months to where not only was I feeling better, I started dropping weight. And now we just keep it as a staple in our household.
Exactly.
And I start sharing it with others and people start handing me money. I was like, hey.
Like, yeah, I want some of that. What are you doing?
Right. And so Law's Supreme Detox Tea was a thing before Law's Healing Garden. And so
Okay.
that was one of the first products that I introduced when I started my business. It was solely the Law's Supreme Detox Tea. For everyone that's local, I will make it upon request. But when you purchase it, it does come with the instructions on how to brew the tea. But it's really simple. The tea is a beautiful thing. Like I said, it has all these natural ingredients that really softens your stool.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but anybody at any given time can have up to 30 to 40 pounds of feces waste in their gut.
Whew,
Right.
that's a lot. And our most people aren't even using the restroom that much to. That's
Right.
TMI, but
It has
to
become
even get
natural.
get that out.
Right. It's become natural for us to not have a movement like we should. And that was another reason why I started. Now I was feeling ill. I wasn't using the restroom like I needed to or was supposed to. And like most women, I would just have a good bowel movement maybe once a month right before my cycle. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so this here, like I said, is a staple and it's been my best selling product. Um,
Oh
and so I
wow.
always encourage people, whether they're trying to lose weight or not, because it's not about losing weight. It's about being healthy and clearing your gut and having that mental clarity
Mental
so you
clarity.
can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
But I always suggest that the client drinks the tea for at least 2 to 3 gallons. Like, get a good flush and then
Yes.
continue to drink for maintenance. So you may not drink it every day after you feel like you have a great flush, but keep it in your system. So
Yes.
when you do go, you're not sitting long, you're not straining and hurting yourself, getting a
Yes.
hernia, right?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, you got the toilet, you got a migraine. You're like, why?
All that straining, all that's just
Right.
it's a lot. And
It
people don't
is.
understand the importance of that. I mean, if they may it like you stated that, it's not in our nature to like detox and to clean ourselves out like that, only because we think it's like, oh, we shouldn't be doing that, but really that's the only way for our body to release the toxins and chemical that's in our
Hmm.
body. Our body is a working machine, you
That's
feel me?
right.
So as much as you put in it, it needs to come out, and we
Yeah.
try to, how can I say it, put things on top of it to kind of, I can't think of the word, but basically try
We
to,
put a band-aid over things.
there you
Like, let
go,
me
just
stop my
band it
stomach
up,
from
like, oh, it's
hurting
okay.
by drinking this Sprite or this ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
we
that's
feel
not
good
gonna
for
help
a
you.
moment,
Mm.
right? Let's think about it this way. What goes in is so very important. What we take in, the minerals, the vitamins, all of
Mm-hmm.
that, substances, but it's also important that it moves out.
Exactly.
When we are digesting We have to think about all the toxins and things that are in the food, the chemicals, the dyes, the additives and preservatives. That's toxic to our bodies. It helps us stay compacted
Mm-hmm.
in our gut. So now understanding, oh, well, I eat good. I go to the bathroom every day, but we still have things that's sitting in our gut that may be harmful to us, especially if it's sitting there over time. So
Exactly.
it, yes, it's good that it goes in. We have all those nutrients, but what goes in must come out. It must come out. So
Yes.
that's
Mm-hmm.
why I so push this detox tea. When people hear the word detox, I'm noticing now that it is become a negative word to
Yes. Yes.
a lot of people. They feel like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I naturally detox. You sure do. But we don't eat the things that are natural to us to make sure that we detox
We detox.
naturally, properly.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
Right.
There you
We're
go.
eating
Because
starches and
we're
sugars and
mm-hmm.
all of these food like products, which is straight
Mm-hmm.
chemicals. It's not
Yes.
food. There's no nutrition value to it. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
sitting. Where does it sit? Right. We're foggy. We're trying to understand why I can't stay focused because our gut is not clear. I'm telling
Nice.
you, that was like the main thing after me losing my gut and weight and
Yeah.
feeling better
Mm-hmm.
was my mental clarity. I was just like,
Oh.
oh, okay.
You have so
I can
much clarity.
see
That.
now. And I had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
energy. Like it just opened up a whole new world for me. And that is why it stayed consistent and became a staple in our household.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow.
Hmm.
That is beautiful. Now, I don't know if you heard, but you know that the gut and the brain has a connection.
I do.
The gut and brain connection. It's crazy you said that and bringing that up because that's what kind of got me into cleaner diet. Um, I think a lot of people now is just too focused on a diet and not just focus on just being healthy. You know, we put too much strain on what kind of diet we should be on. And
Mm.
honestly, it's more to me, it's more than just a diet. It's just your overall health. You know, you can eat the good things, but are you exercising? Are you thinking well? And um with the gut and the brain connection, I definitely believe that if you're taking in back with the world that we live in today, it's only so much we can do. Only so much that we can do as far as trying to eliminate the additives, the pesticides, and everything that's in the food. However, like you stated, some people don't know that they have so much of that built up inside of them because you got to understand, like, when you've been doing this to your body for so long, you know, it's definitely possible that there is still things backed up. So I did notice as well that, you know, the word detox is kind of like, ooh,
Yeah,
well,
people don't like that word.
I don't need
And
to do
it's
all
my
that.
goal to change
Mm-hmm.
people's perception of that because it's not just what we're eating, it's what we're using on our skin, it's what's in the environment. When you walk out the
Yes,
door, guess what? Your skin is absorbing whatever's in the air.
exactly.
We live off of water and air. Our bodies function off of water and air outside of our
Mm-hmm.
food. So it's so important. And I'm glad that I'm able to come here and talk about it because I don't know, I
Yes.
probably haven't been talking about it enough um, with sharing with others. You know, I do a lot of one-on-ones, but
Mm-hmm.
another thing outside of the word detox, a lot of people don't like using the bathroom.
You're not listen. It's funny you said that. Like I said, like they like people think it's gross, but it's
Oh,
not the fact that it's gross, it's the fact that you need to do it. Like it's like life.
do
Like
it.
we have to use it. Like
I
just
love to talk about bowel movements. I talk about bowel movements all the time. I love it.
hmm
If you're having a bowel movement, you are good to go. Let's talk about your bowel. What does it look like?
That's
And
good.
so,
And oh Yes.
Yeah, I run into that a lot with new clients.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while. Sometimes they'll take the first gallon and then I'll follow up with them in a couple of days and they're like, I haven't had anything to drink yet because I'm working and I don't want to have to use the bathroom while I'm out. That's another thing I want to talk about. This detox tea, it is
Mm-hmm.
not like a laxative. It's
Okay.
very calming, in fact. Um, so you don't
I
have to
heard
worry
that
about diarrhea or cramping.
chamomile. You got that.
Yes.
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 I love that.
So that gives the it gives the opportunity for the waste that's in your stomach to break down and kind of liquefy a little bit.
Okay.
So I always encourage people to, with the tea, drink your water. You don't have to change your diet, but when you start feeling better, is you're going to change naturally because you're going to think about the
Exactly.
things that you're putting back into your body and how you feel. Like I feel good, and I know this bread doesn't make me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real gentle. The thing about the tea is that instead of the diarrhea, when you're ready to go, you go with ease. And so if you
Ooh.
feel like you have to go, just don't wait. Just go to the bathroom and you spend like time on the toilet, like I said earlier, because you're not straining. You're not, trying to get that pebble or that rock that might go right back
Yeah.
up because it's not liquefied enough to come on out smoothly. Our
Exactly.
feces should be coming out as if, those um, things that the cake decorators use to squeeze out
Yes.
the icing. Yeah.
Yes.
When it gets like that, you're golden. And it can get to the point where it comes out so smooth when you wipe, there's nothing on your paper.
See,
Yeah,
and that's perfect. And
I
that's
love it.
perfect. I love that.
Don't get me talking about elimination. I could talk about elimination all day.
But elimination is good, and it's so good for the body because you know that the body is doing exactly what it needs to do. If you're not
Right.
eliminating, then something's wrong. If
Yes.
you're not using the bathroom every day, something's going on.
Hmm.
Like I remember when I was younger, like oh man, like I always had bowel movement. I was having bowel movement problems a lot when I was younger. But now being older and realizing the things that I was eating at the time, junk food and chips and pop and just sugar, sugar, sugar. Like that's the craze right
Hmm.
now. Even back then, just packed us up with so much sugar. It was just horrible. But like to now know that I could eliminate and do stuff with ease and all by changing my diet and what I eat and adding herbs because I love herbs. My mom's a herbalist,
Hmm.
so she be getting us together with herbs. So I definitely
Yes.
love the detox tea. I love the La's Healing Garden. I told you that I was gonna
Yes.
have to come down there and spend some time in
You
that
must.
garden.
Let me get it together because I didn't do anything for the fall winter, but I
Mhm.
need to properly prepare because I haven't prepared yet because I've been so
Yes.
like into other things, right? Not saying
Mhm.
that that's not important, but
Yeah.
when you said, you growing and understanding different things, we have an opportunity, and I'm not sure if y'all can see this, to heal
What is it?
ourselves. This says heal
Ooh.
thyself,
Yes.
healthy
Oh, I want
self.
that. I need that.
It's on my website. You can go to
Oh yeah.
lawshealinggarden.com and you get a mug here and it shows my logo, Law's Healing Garden, and then this mug actually
Heal
has Heal
thyself.
Thyself.
I love
If
that.
you write down Heal Thyself, it also means healthy self.
Mm,
It spells out healthy self.
mm.
So I heard you talking to brother Sean Muhammad, no, Sean Ali on
Yes.
your first
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and he was great. I
Yes.
love it. And he was talking about, I think maybe you were saying this. You have to. Well, we've been talking, so maybe a conversation that we had. You have to understand yourself and know yourself in order for you to heal yourself. Because we can sit here
Exactly.
and have the doctor prescribe us all these medications, but
Mm-hmm.
how are we healing ourselves? We're just putting a band-aid on it with the prescription. But how can I
Uh-huh.
approach and fix the underlying condition. Why am I taking this? How can I reduce the dosage? Because some people, they have to take it, right? But
Yeah,
how can I
right.
reduce the dosage? We know
Mm-hmm.
over time that taking these medications and so forth, it could do damage to your kidneys and your liver, right?
Absolutely.
That's another reason
Mm-hmm.
why Law's Supreme Detox Tea is important, because it
Yes.
helps clean that gut. It helps clean the liver. It's a whole body
Mm-hmm.
detox. It's a whole body detox. Um, Other products, I want to move on because I could talk about the detox tea. Other products that I
No,
have on
you're
my
fine.
line,
You're fine. I
I
love
will
it. I
be
love it. Let people know.
introducing. What's that?
I said I love it. Let people know.
I will be introducing some other tea blends. I
Hmm.
have mint, which is always good.
Yeah.
And it has its various properties, healing properties, and then also borage.
Oh
Been
wow.
growing some borage
That's
leaves and
different.
understanding
I
and
haven't heard
studying borage over the last year,
of. Hmm.
and learning that is very healing when it comes to your digestive system, but also is helpful for those who are having womb issues. So
Mm.
with cramping and menstrual cycles and so forth, like
That's
it
very
really does a
important.
great job with that. So those are going to be there. And then echinacea. Been growing some echinacea and had an
Oh.
opportunity to get with a source that will help me
Hmm.
with supplying echinacea pills. So they will come in veggie capsules, so you don't have
Hmm.
to worry about what you're consuming with that. But that's going to be available as well. And you can actually look and see and find all of these products on lashealinggarden.com. That's LAS healinggarden.com.
Yes. Yes. Oh my
And
gosh.
a lot of
Hmm.
people, they're not into herbs, they're not into teas, and that's
Yeah.
just fine. So the merchandise that you can purchase, I have t-shirts and we have some hoodies
Grow
that's
something.
on
Oh, I love
line
that.
to grow something.
Oh, you got to. You got
Grow
to.
something.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have some Heal Thyself shirts. Also, you have an opportunity to donate. There's some tabs there where you can donate,
Hmm.
and that really helps me make sure that I am growing without compromise, staying organic and making sure that I use those proper resources. So I appreciate if
Absolutely.
you actually go to lawshealinggarden.com.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I definitely thank you so very much for joining me on my podcast and sharing your story and your journey
Yay.
of healing and Lies Healing Garden. It was such a great information and everything. So I'm so glad and happy that you expressed to us how you started Lies Healing Garden. It's so amazing how I'm spiritual, so it's just
Mm.
amazing how God puts you in certain situation and ends up leading to what your passion is and
Hmm.
what you need to do. Like I know you probably didn't think that, your husband was gonna go through that and you was
Mm-mm.
gonna have to be in a midst of decision making that ended up allowing you to go down the path of your journey, your passion. So
It was
yeah,
something serious.
yeah,
I
yeah.
had no choice but to get
Mhm.
into it. And so I encourage those, if you know what your purpose is and you have a passion, go after it. Don't wait until, um, you know, maybe the creator has to sit you down for you to understand to take care of yourself or
Yeah,
to do the right thing, because we already know. It's about putting what we know into practice.
exactly.
Just the other day, I was talking to my husband about something, and I said, I need to practice what I preach.
I think we all do because you're not the only
Child,
one.
let me
I'll be
tell
having to
you,
go back like, okay, let me
because I won't do it. I
Mhm.
think when my husband was through recovery, I got so used to taking care of him and saving everything for him. Like if we
Yeah.
had juice in the house, I'm like, don't drink the juice. It's for my husband so he can recover.
Yeah.
So I need to get out of that space. And I'm learning because now I'm in the position to where it's time to take care of law,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that's part of my healing journey, is not being bitter about some of the things I had to go through while he was sick, while he was recovering,
Mhm.
and now allowing myself to be healthy, taking care of myself, putting myself first.
Exactly.
So before I go, I want to encourage you, worry about yourself.
Whew. Ring, 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 ring.
Worry
Yes,
about yourself. That's the
definitely.
best advice I can give anyone. So do that. Take care of you. Even if it's a slight change,
Hmm.
drinking more water, taking a walk, getting sun, taking
Yeah.
that multivitamin, cutting down your portions, drinking Law Supreme Detox Tea
Yes.
to clean your gut, not only for physical health, but mental clarity.
I love it. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I thank you all for joining. Thank you, La, again for joining and letting us know again about your healing journey and La's Healing Garden. So, if you guys enjoyed today's podcast, today's show, please just share it to all your social media, share it to anyone that's interested in healing. And I discuss all things healing in the body, mind, soul. So yes, thank you guys for joining in. I will also have a description in the bottom of where you can listen to the podcast a little later on. I will have it posted up tomorrow. And yeah, thank you again, La, for joining us. Thank
Yes,
you,
thanks
thank
for
you.
having me. It's been a pleasure meeting you and get to know you. You're
Yes, it
my
has. I
newest
love
best
it.
friend, girl.
I know, I love it. I love it. I feel like I've known you all my life. Like just come natural. Like
So good to meet you. It's a pleasure.
yes, yes. Nice to meet you as well. Thank you all.
Peace.